Hey, how's everybody doing? Welcome to the Shit Guys Talk About. I got the Manic Genius, I got Phil in it, I got Sagacious Taj, and I got This is CLS in the building. So before we jump into the topics, man, how's everybody doing? How was y'all week?
I'm blessed.
Good.
It's pretty good.
But yeah, Jesse probably can't make it today, but I definitely looked at the tape from the last one, and Jesse was catching some hell in the house. Jesse, when you come back, you're going to have to answer for all that. We got to see if you safe, man. Jesse was getting beat up. He had to get some nourishment at the end. I was like, why is he making this food? But it makes sense now. Jesse was over there getting cussed out. Can't be getting cussed out on an empty stomach and stuff. So.
Yeah, right. Cheese and crackers.
Yeah, my man had the cheese and crackers. He said he had to get that nourishment right while he getting cussed out.
Yeah.
So any topics that y'all want to circle back from the last one, or y'all want to go ahead and just jump into them?
Let's jump in, man.
All right. So the first topic that we want to jump into today is education reform. And of course, all of us been part of the education system. All of us are parents. So do you guys think that we need education reform in the United States? And I'll start with you first, Phil.
So I'll say this. I mean, in terms of education, as a parent, there's a lot of things that are being taught that I don't even know how to explain, like, to my child. So the way that I was taught basic mathematics, right, is like now they have this entirely different system to where I'm struggling as a parent to even teach my daughter how to do this stuff. So when I teach her the basic, forms of what I learned, she's taking it back to school and she's like, the teacher's like, nah, that's not how you're supposed to do this. And I'm like, wait a minute, like, I don't know how else to teach her. But then the same thing with the education in terms of like being an adult. Like, I strongly think that there's a lot of things they're going away from that are important. Like, just anything when it comes to like, history, right? They're going away from African-American history. I think that's a very vital thing in our community, but they're taking it and they're calling it like westward expansion. Like they're labeling it that as opposed to actually talking about what really happened. So I personally think that if they do like try to make any kind of change, make it fair across the board, make it to where parents can teach their kids and make it to where they're actually teaching what's real, not some type of fabricated idea of what they think should be taught.
Okay. No, I like that. All right, CLS, I'm coming to you. Do you think we need education reform in the United States?
And you mean as far as like just making changes? Like
just changes to the system.
Yeah, I guess, man. Like, I don't know, man. I need a minute to think about it. You can go ahead, man.
All right. Let me go to Taj real quick. Taj, what's your take? You think we need education reform in the United States?
I agree 100% with Phil, man, because let me tell you something. Last year was hell for me because I couldn't really teach my daughters a damn thing because they was pretty much teaching me, you know what I mean, on everything. I'm just like, what? Like, I felt stupid because I wasn't getting it. I'm like, how are they getting that off of this? This is the way I was taught. Then they go back confused because their teacher's saying, no, you got to do this, do that, So I pretty much don't have much to say anymore about that because he pretty much took the words out of my mouth. I fully agree. You kind of have to reteach yourself now, in this day and age, as far as everything. When it comes down to them trying to change as far as the whole slavery, I'm already aggravated about that as it is. Everybody knows my opinion on that. We're already, especially in public schools, being lied to damn near our whole lives. You know what I mean? So I ain't trying to burn no bridges or anything like that, but like I'm furious with that because for real, like they're literally trying to say that slavery was we benefited from slavery. That type of bullshit, as if it was an option. The fuck you talking about is an option? The hell, like I can't have my kids up here thinking that we were like, here, put us in change, we'll do this. Y'all captured us for the reasons that y'all don't have now, like y'all didn't have before. We already had the damn skills. Like, you know what I mean? Then you enslaved us so that way we can build America where we can't even go into a coffee shop without being called a nigga or anything like that. And now being told that's cool, blacks, they benefited from that shit. I don't know, man, get off topic, but like educational system, man, that's dope, man.
That's no topic.
No, definitely, man. No, this is good because the point of it is all about giving our perspectives because there's a lot of people that feel that same way. So let me go ahead and kick it over to Manic real quick. So do you think we need education reform in the United States?
Absolutely. We definitely need education reform, and it stems from that we live in an ever changing or ever growing society. So I think education should be a reflection of, the times. So things change over time, and you know, education needs to constantly be updated with the best practices and what is, actually effective to, teach. So, with more information, the better we can do things and create better processes. So, when it comes to education, personally, do I think the educational system is bad? No. I think the educational system as it was when I was growing up, and as it states now, is relatively good. I mean, we may not be number one anymore, but we're still up there. I don't know too many people. I don't know too many grown adults that can't read. Personally, actually, I can't even name one or think of one. But so I think the education system does what it's designed to do, and that's to kind of prepare people to, work. We need people to work. We need it is a system, and you need all the cogs and you need all the pieces of the system for the system to work. So I think the education system definitely is geared towards preparing people to, follow instructions and essentially work. And I don't necessarily think that that's a bad thing. Um, I've heard a lot of different approaches to changing the education system. But I think it's doing exactly what it was designed to do. And for that reason, I don't think it's a bad. I think that it does need to change and be updated, though, with the availability of information.
All right. CLS, did you want to jump in there real quick before I give my take?
I mean, I could add on to what they were saying, which I was just
go ahead.
But, I know in Florida, in a few other states, they were talking about updating the history books, maybe because of, I guess, white guilt. They're talking about the whole slavery subject.
Themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because they were ashamed about what their ancestors did. So they started updating the history books and changing some of the events that happened back then. Pretty much watering it down.
Yeah, I think that is going down in what's his name, DeSantis and stuff like that. So they're having that whole issue. Yeah. So, but let me ask you guys, because I know Manic, all you guys had some good points, and I'm glad y'all addressed that. But Manic, you said something about like adapting. So do you guys think like maybe we should be teaching more mathematics, because like computer science and stuff like that, financial literature? Because I know that's a thing. Like looking back now as an adult, I think we should have probably had like more financial education, like how to invest, 401ks and stuff like that.
Trade school.
Yeah. When it
talk
comes
about that
to
in middle school and high school.
Like that works, but you have to think about the lower income areas, like these, like, the areas where like you're not going to have schools that are going to promote that, because they know that the students are not going to have any form of a life when it comes to that topic. So if you look at trying to teach financial anything, like there was a school where I went to, it's called Dover, compared to a school I went to called CR. Dover's education was trash. Like their grading scale was like a 60 was a passing score, where a 60 for me was failing. So like they could teach them finance all day, but then like, how can you teach finance to somebody who's technically failing a class? And they take that to college, and it's like, oh wait, how do you be successful now? You were taught that a 60 is okay. Now you're going to college and like, wait, am I failing? It just doesn't make sense. Like I think it should be just across the board. Like education needs to be upgraded, like just not just in the higher echelons, but also to the lowest level. Like the lower schools, the lower high schools, lower middle schools also need these same classes that these higher schools are getting, so they have the same opportunity.
Okay. Yeah, I just think that when you really think about the school system as a whole, it's a lot more moving pieces than, just making a change of like, hey, we're going to implement this to the curriculum. Like there's, processes that has to go through, different approvals. People have to clear it, and then people make amendments to it. And it's not just a quick decision that, people can make to overhaul and, change a school system. I think that, finance would be a good thing to teach, for sure. But, a lot of high schools offer that. You have to go out and seek it for yourself. You have to take it as an elective. And I mean, I personally did, choose to take that financial literacy as an elective, because I just knew how important finances were. I didn't honestly learn too much from it, but I think that the financial system changes so much. There's new products, new instruments, new processes, because at the end of the day, you know the finance, the money, they're getting the smartest people, and they're coming up with these products, like whether it's stocks and different investment strategies, different investment opportunities. And this stuff is relatively new. And when I say relatively new, I mean you go back 50 years, and you know how we invest is completely been transformed. And financial strategies and financial instruments change so rapidly that the school system would not be able to keep up with everything. So I think that um and then you got to think about, overall, finances are not necessarily meant for everybody to win. It's a system designed, and people can who have that knowledge can utilize that system best. And I think the onus is up to you as a parent to teach your kids certain financial principles. So I don't think a school would necessarily um, promote that. I know, like, even in church, you can't teach financial literacy. It's like it's actually against the law, or some there's like some kind of code in that. And I don't have all the details on that, but I was talking to my pastor, and he was telling me, like, hey, you can't do that. And we were just talking about, like, man, that's crazy. A place where you have so many people that gather to worship, like, why not have an extra hour of church where you guys just strictly talk about finances and educate people? But it's prohibited. So I think there's a reason for that. The less knowledge you allow people to have, the better you can take advantage of them. So it's just what it is. Finance is a game about making money, and if your opponents are dumb, it'll be easier to win.
Yeah, that's a good point. Anybody else want to piggyback off of that?
Trade school, like when we was in high school, they didn't have all of the options that they have now. They didn't have it back then, back in like the 90s, early 2000s.
So you think, like, you're saying, like, they should push more trade schools, and like high school give like different alternative paths? No, because I kind of agree with that.
Yeah, because a lot of these students are not going to go directly to college after high school. If they don't go to high school, I guess they still have Job Corps. That's still available, right? I guess.
Yeah.
That was the thing back then. Job Corps, college, or going into the military. They pushed for that a lot back then, with the recruiters coming to the high school, talking to the students, and passing out pamphlets and having like was it like a career day, or like the little career fairs and all that stuff? They come there and talk to students, or like yeah.
No, I definitely agree with you on that. I do think they need to introduce, like, I would say, like, if I had like a choice and I could change some of like the high school, I think, like you were saying, have an option path. Like, hey, here's different career fields, like a nursing program. And I think like 11th and 12th grade should be like the new, I'll say, like, associate's degree. Like, that should go towards your associate's degree, where they're starting to prep you for, like you said, either like a trade school, or you're getting those like higher level curriculum like schools out. That way even college would kind of become even cheaper at that point, kind of start bridging you towards a college degree and stuff like that. Rearrange the curriculum a little bit.
Yeah, just learn a skill. You learn a skill set you can use in any city. You can live anywhere in the US, not have to worry about struggling trying to find work. You can just create work and pretty much start your own business. Especially if you I think they offer, what is it, was it auto body? Like, those guys learning how to like fix cars, mechanics, stuff like that. That HVAC, plumbing, electricians, all that stuff.
Yeah, because my wife, she just sent me something like the other day, where she was saying, like, one school that they have the kids going to like internship programs.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing like those different things, like you said, trades, like LPN and stuff like that, when they're in high school now. So they're coming out like kind of ahead of the bell curve. But I think Phil kind of hit it, where you know, a lot of schools don't have the funding too. So I think that's where some of the issues comes, because like, you know, good schools that have the funding and stuff like that, they're definitely like moving in that direction. But when you start getting to like the more poorer areas, I think that's where the issues start kind of lying and stuff like that.
So that would fall under, I guess, hiring a good teaching staff, hiring good teachers, and maybe have mentorship, stuff like that. They can talk to students.
Definitely mentorship.
Yeah, because we did have that back in the 90s. When we was growing up, we had student mentors, just people from the neighborhood who just volunteered to like, you know, just keep kids off the streets, offer little programs and stuff.
They did it. Like, well, no, when I was young, I remember they had like a
neighborhood center. Was that neighborhood center?
No, it wasn't. I'm like, yeah, the neighborhood center, but
we
also
had that.
They would send somebody to the school, like Officer Dare or something like that, that would try to like turn us into drugs and stuff like that. Not that it worked, but
yeah,
you know, I'm just being honest.
I mean, you have a good mentor though. I mean, like you can learn a lot from that person. You know, kind of have like a big brother type relationship. They can teach you a skill and, you know, give you options. Maybe you could travel with them. You know, show you around and stuff.
But let me ask you guys something. So what if all the like peer pressure, like just think back at like high school and stuff like that? Do you think like they should make kids wear uniforms? I always was curious about that. How you guys would think about that?
They only do that at private schools. They don't do that at public schools.
No, not necessarily. Like
Good. They do that at charter schools as well.
Oh, at charter schools too. Yeah, charter school. I live near a charter.
But I'm saying, do you guys think they should adopt that across the board? Do you think that would like make any difference, or what's your take on that?
Slow the bullying down for sure. Like for people, for like schools who have bullying problems. Like my girls have to wear uniforms at their school, but like nobody complains about what they're wearing, like because everybody's wearing the same damn thing. So far as bullying, it'll slow that down.
Yeah, shoes. That's about it.
Yeah. I went to a charter school. My 8th grade year, we had to wear the khaki pants and then the collared shirt. And we had three choices of colors for the collared shirt. Yeah, the polo shirt, blue, red, and white. And I hated it at first, and then you know, just because, you know, that first day of school, you know, you want to be fresh. You want to, I mean, the only thing you could be fresh with is the shoes. Like that's the only freedom of freshness you had is the shoes. So it was like those fresh, crisp. But honestly, later in the year, when that whole died out, it was just like, as far as picking out clothes, it was something you didn't have to think about. Yeah. So it was.
Yeah, but that also comes with the cost. Like, you got some families who can afford to pay and get those uniforms and all that. Like,
you said what?
It comes with a cost. You got some families who can't afford those uniforms.
Well, no, it actually is cheaper because, you know, with the uniforms, it's the same khaki pants. So like, let's say that's 3 outfits that you have to buy. 3 pairs of pants and shit. I mean, truth be told, you just need 1 pair of pants. I mean, you can wash those pants if it's really that bad. Yeah.
Shout out to Manic being dirty out here.
And you got a polo shirt.
I said wash.
Here in Georgia, they give the kids hoodies too. They give them polo shirts and they give them hoodies.
Yeah. I think in the wintertime, obviously, you can wear your own coat and whatnot. But it was just like, it was one of those things where you don't have to think about what you're wearing, and you just kind of go. It definitely had its pros and cons. You know, the women had a little bit more freedom. They could do the khakis or the skirts. So, I mean, as far as like, I know kids nowadays, they could wear like tight leggings, body fitting, and, you know, they could kind of damn near sexualize themselves. But women in uniforms, you know, there's levels to it. You can't go past a certain level because it's a standard uniform. Skirts have to be past here. And now looking back on it, like that 8th grade year, I didn't, you know, there was not too much like sexualization of, you know, women as far as like, yeah, there's pretty girls and it's like you look at their face and stuff like that. But I wasn't like checking out women's bodies. It was like, oh, check out. But you know, back when I went back to, you know, traditional public school, yeah, it's like you definitely could see who's, hey, yo, she's got something back there. Hey, she's filling out.
So you think like the uniform kind of like home, like I'll say
it was less of a, I would say it was less of a distraction, honestly.
Okay.
You know? As a man and, you know, as a heterosexual man, got to clarify that, especially this day and age. It was less. It was less of a distraction. No, I really was thinking back on it, so they might have been onto something. But nah, I honestly didn't like it, because I like to be fly. So, and yeah.
But was it easier? Like, did it simplify things, like make it more efficient? Because I could just imagine, like, you don't have that pressure of like, damn, what am I gonna wear today and all that. It's
Yeah,
like,
no,
man,
it
let me
did,
throw
it
these
did.
khaki pants.
It did, because it's like I'm wearing the same, 4 or 5 pairs of khaki pants. I can switch on the khaki shorts if it gets a little warmer. But I got 3 colors of shirts. And it made it easy. So am I going to do blue today? Nah, maybe red. Nah, today's a white day. Like just 3 colors.
Today's a white day.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
So Taj, how's your like daughters like the uniforms? How are they like feeling about that?
Oh, they like it. Like they didn't really get to experience public school, getting to wear whatever they wanted to. They kind of was already
Okay.
from jump already just started wearing, having to wear uniforms, and they saw nothing of it. It's just the way private school life is. I told them what it is, what it's like as far as public school go, and they was like, well, we got the weekend for that to where we want to wear, so.
Oh, so they sound like some troopers, man. Manic
Yeah,
was over here whining and shit.
It's preparing them for life. Monday through Friday, you got to wear your suit. You got to wear your work attire. Whatever job you do, you have a certain dress etiquette that you should be wearing. Versus like on the weekends, you can literally do whatever you want.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess it's good preparation for.
Shit, the only thing in school I was worried about is if somebody stepped on my first kicks, man. If you step on my shoes, we fight.
Yeah.
For real.
Facts.
Seriously, man. That's the only thing I was worrying about. That was it. What am I wearing to school today as far as my shoes? I don't care about my clothes. I'm good with that. But my shoes, man. It seemed like everybody's number one mission was to mess up your shoes. Like, come on, man. If they weren't new, you wouldn't be stepping on them.
You in a crowded hallway, you're gonna bump into people. They're gonna step on you.
Fact.
In a crowded hallway in school, middle school, high school is crowded. It's overcrowded.
Look.
You gonna bump into somebody.
Taj said he wasn't having it. Taj said he going in.
I was smart with my shit, man. I didn't have so much as a damn scuff on my shoes.
Yeah.
So I was good. I don't know about anybody else up in here, but I was good.
I had some dirty sneaks. My stuff was always getting scuffed up.
Yeah.
I was just rough on some shoes, man. I was tearing them joints up.
You just walking around with a toothbrush in your pocket.
My stuff was
Absolutely.
Fucking toothbrush and alcohol and shit.
I was a sneakerhead. So I ain't gonna lie. I come prepared. I stay prepared. I had my little polish and everything. If I did see a little scuff.
Yeah.
Shit, look.
Got the Timberland brush.
So do you guys think like real quick, do you guys think like kids nowadays are just dealing with way more pressures? Just thinking about social media and all that stuff, man.
Oh my God.
Yeah, absolutely.
Distraction.
100%.
Distraction.
Like when I came up, social media wasn't a thing. Like we at most had MySpace, and that was trash.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then now
MySpace was trash?
MySpace was lit.
No, the hell it wasn't.
MySpace
That's where the DMs went down.
Compared to TikTok, compared to
wall
Instagram,
that you had,
and Twitter, it's nowhere near the platform. It's nowhere near like Snapchat. We didn't have that. That wasn't a thing.
Okay.
We only had.
Y'all sound privileged. CLS, when did the computer come out? Like at least I think in my senior year, like we had dial-up. Like we ain't even have MySpace in high school.
Dude, we had what was it, Black Planet?
Man, we ain't even had that.
It was after high school. This is like what? 9?
Yeah, that was in the military when we got that. Because I remember.
But I'm gonna say this:
I was on everything. I was on Mahente, Black Planet, Asian People Meet.
A lot of kids are affected by social media a lot more now than when we was kids.
Man,
it's horrible.
So you had what was his name? What was my boy's name? That was like a friend to everybody, Jared or something like that.
Tom. What was his name?
MySpace was the shit, yo.
He was your first friend.
You could customize your page and put your music on there and all that, man.
Oh yeah, man! I had the music, I had the background going.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I had the tracks on there. My shit was fly.
I had the music background, everything.
The music playlist, and they didn't have influence back then. You had to worry about all that shit back then.
Nah, you just had to worry about your friends list, and then your top 8 or your top 4.
Yeah,
Your top friends.
You could pick up chicks on there too. It was easy to pick up chicks on there too.
Yeah,
mad easy.
Yeah, AOL Messenger. That was the shit back then.
Man, we supposed to be talking about some kids. Y'all have a flashback to old people
man.
shit.
Hey, look,
Old
I'm
people
bad,
shit.
say.
Yo, it's funny that you bring up old people shit. Yo, you know who died last night?
Oh, Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah, you saw that shit?
That's your boy, man.
Isn't
Dude.
that crazy? I had all
Oh,
the
man.
VHSs of his entire show as a kid. All of
Dude,
them.
I got a video coming.
Hey, you
He's
know what's
like,
crazy?
funny.
You know what's crazy? Like P.B. Herman used to wear that tight ass suit with the high waters, and
Yeah.
he would get clowned. Like it's just like
Everybody's
it was a joke.
doing
Red bow tie,
that's-
white dress shoes.
Yes, but that's the style now.
It
Like
is.
Oh, that's
P.B.
slim
Herman-
fit now. Shit.
That's
Now,
slim
now,
fit.
Exactly.
That's wild.
Pee Wee Herman would be a sex symbol now.
Dude,
They'd be like, wow, that's fly, man. Where'd you get that custom from?
Where'd you get that custom fit?
He had the red bow tie on. My man was mad weird though, man.
Yeah, dude, he
was hella
fucking he owned the 80s, bro. He owned the 80s.
Yeah, he did.
He owned the 80s. I can't wait. I got a video coming.
So just going back to the kids real quick, since you guys really interrupted me. Now I'm playing.
R.P.
So-
P.B. Herman.
How do y'all think like that pressure is magnified? You think they're just dealing with a lot more like cyberbullying, and also like I think seeing just
I think it's magnified. I think I know where you're going with that. I think it's magnified because there's this expectation to keep up, versus, if you were the popular kid, you're just popular in that area, and it's like it's easily understood. But now the reach is so far, and it's just like I think kids in general are very impressionable just because they're young and they're like learning and figuring out themselves. So there's so much added pressure because there's accessibility to like more. So it's just like, you give a kid 3 options, they're going to pick between those 3 options. You give a kid 500 options, and now you have a level of anxiety and like just different mental issues and different pressures. And so I think, as a parent, you really have to recognize the changes and just learn how to deal with that and kind of guide you. And you're gonna have to almost take a closer approach to monitoring your child and watching how they develop.
I agree. I like
That's
that.
pretty much the time you learn to deal with all that stuff when you're testing and going through all that stuff, during your high school years.
But I like what we were talking about as far as the changes, like between we were in high school versus, y'all were in high school, and like when the internet, how much it has transformed. Like, could you imagine that was only about 20 plus years ago? So could you imagine what 20 years in the future will hold? Like, so education definitely needs to reform. It needs to be, updated to the latest technology and the latest trends, the latest things that, are positive. But as a person, as an adult, as a parent, you need to evolve too. So the same issues your parents had to deal with, with the adaptation of everything happening so fast, now it's happening even faster. And I think that's the real challenge, as a parent.
So you're saying
keeping up with
adapt.
the times.
Do you think we need to become stricter with like I'll say technology and stuff?
You kind of have to now.
Yeah.
Absolutely. In your household, absolutely.
Yeah, just monitor.
Exactly. If you don't, man, your kid's gonna be lost. Because you're right, man, time is flying. Like seriously, you gotta be on.
Yeah, these kids, man. I there's probably middle schoolers who know way more than any of us on here about computers and how they work, and like
very computer savvy, very tech savvy.
Yeah, and like going around things, and even if you put a block on your, I'm gonna block my kids from seeing this, they're gonna figure out a workaround, because when we were young, we figured the workaround, and that thing spread like wildfire. It's like, you can't go to this website on a school computer. Well, you go to this website and then type in that website, and it acts as a proxy to get to that website. And all it took was one smart person to figure that out, and then it just gets spread around, and everybody has it now. So it just becomes a way of life. If you want to access something on a school computer that's prohibited, you can. You just follow these steps.
Yeah, because even thinking about my son, like, just the changes now, like y'all got some younger ones, so I could just imagine they're gonna be having like holograms in the house.
We might not. We might not even have
shit. Yeah,
like that
just
movie
a hologram.
We're gonna be like that pretty soon.
What movie was that?
iRobot.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
that's where it's headed with this AI shit.
Oh yeah, the AI is serious.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the topics I wanted to have down the line. We're gonna break down
You were talking about the cars driving themselves and all that. They're doing that shit now.
I hope I'm dead before all this.
It's just going on
I
now.
want to check. So anything else? Like anybody want to jump on this topic? If not, we could go ahead and jump into the next one. All right.
What about something?
Now go ahead, Taj, if you want to.
Nah, because then I ain't gonna speak about it. When it comes down to education, man, I'm already hard on my girls as it is. Like, because in my mind, if you're like, I know there's some parents I heard that like so hardly depend on the school system to educate their kids. To me, that's an uneducated child that you got to teach them at home too, especially what they're trying to do, as far as like taking things out to then like replacing it with other shit, you know. Like, and I'm pretty much speaking on the whole slavery. You know, they're trying to take that out as if it never existed, you know, but yet they're trying to keep their history as far as like in Virginia, they're still keeping Robert E. Lee. How you gonna teach Robert E. Lee without teaching about slavery? You know what I mean? And like now, like one of my girls asked about that. She like, you know, is everybody taking it out? Like they're trying to. She's like, so what about Anne Frank? Are they gonna still make us like? They're still gonna try to make us learn about that? I said, yeah, they're gonna make you learn about that. They're never gonna let you learn about that.
Yeah.
She's like, so why are they trying to like pretty much take us out?
So it's up to you. It's
up to you. Like, yeah, like don't worry about that. I'm gonna teach. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna teach
up to you, bro.
So like, but it's just funny, like that they're that young. They know what's going on, you know. But they do want to know. I'm like, don't worry. They just scared. You know, you guys are the future. They don't like that. Whether you're all black or biracial, whatever. Like that's why they're trying to do all of what they're doing, and it starts with the children because they know they're the future. You know what I mean? So if they don't know what the hell they're talking about when they get older, like you got Trump supporters now that claim that they're speaking facts, and it's like you gonna have a whole world full of Trumps. You know what I mean? Full of dumbasses. You know, I ain't gonna get into it, but like that irks the hell out of me, man, because they are the future, and you're like poisoning their minds all because you can't deal with the fact that your ancestors fucked up. You can't live with that. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just got to deal with it.
We got to brush up on them African American studies. We got African American bookstores, just like remember that store in Texas?
Yeah,
under one roof. That dude, he's feeding us books. Yeah, we just gotta just educate our own kids.
Yeah, I like what you guys were saying, Taj, and I think Manic kind of touched on that too, where it's just like, yeah, it's critical. I think a lot of times parents are so reliant on like schools, and you know they do the best they can because it's like you got so many kids, you got to get them through the classes, but you know learning just never stops. You know you gotta put the books in front of them, and you gotta embed that like mentality in them. You know the strength that comes with that, the culture and stuff like that. So I totally agree with you guys. Now that's why I wanted to touch on this. We're probably gonna circle back on like different topics like this because hey, we are parents and we all, you know, great parents at that. I say knowing all of you guys, and you know we definitely care about this type of stuff. So
you gotta hire teachers who actually care about the students. Actually, you know, put the effort in actually teaching the students, making sure they're actually taking away something when they walk out the classroom.
Well, I think a lot of teachers do care, but I think a lot of times like the parents don't enforce it like I say back in the day, because I know like, hey, if I came home and I was getting in trouble, like them teachers called my parents, I was getting it. You know, and I think now, like I talk to some people, they're like, man, if we call the parents, their parents is like siding with the kids and stuff. So
yeah,
I do think like there's got to be some changes at home, and there are some teachers that's probably bad apples, but a lot of them do. I say do kind of care. What was that?
Apples, man. It's crazy. One of them was my cousin, man. She up there telling my mom that it was a dude that was nothing but a class clown. She tried to tell my mother that he told me to get my work done. I was like, for one, I don't even sit next to that dude. And two, he was in ISS that day. She tried to say that he told me to get my work done. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, so I had my mother jumping down my throat. She like, you ain't doing your work in school? Look at all this. Now I wasn't a perfect student. No, I had my flaws, but damn.
All right, Taj, be honest. Did you get beat when you came home? Did you get that belt?
A few times, but mainly
he had to pause for like 2 seconds. He was like, yeah, probably that day I did.
Hey, we on live?
Yeah.
Is my mom gonna watch this?
Yeah, he's like, Mom, don't watch this. Turn your phone off. But all right, we'll go ahead and jump into the next topic now. This was a dope one. So if you guys haven't been like keeping up on the news, the Carlee Russell kidnapping hoax been like just everywhere. And you know, let me give you guys some context on that real quick, and then we'll go ahead and I got a couple questions I wanted to ask you guys about this whole situation. So Carlee Russell is a nursing student down in Alabama. She reportedly, supposedly reported like an abduction. She said she saw like a distressed toddler on the side of the road in a pair of diapers, and she called the police and stuff. And then shortly after that, she called her, I think it was her cousin or something like that. And then, they heard screaming on the phone where she got kidnapped. So she was gone for about 2 days, which initiated like a massive search for her. But then she kind of popped back up. I think the police came, and how they do the typical investigation where they're asking questions and, stuff wasn't kind of lining up. And then after a while, that's when I think she kind of confessed to the overarching thing that she lied about the whole situation and stuff like that. So that's just a quick background on that. So the first question I have for you guys is, did you even believe the story when you first heard it?
No. You the new Juicy Smollett or Jussie Smollett? They call it the new Jussie Smollett. Yeah, I never believed any of it.
All right. How about you, Taj? Did you believe any of this?
I mean, I don't know. I don't really want to. I don't like calling nobody a liar or anything like that. I mean, I know people do what they do to get attention, but at the end of the day, we don't know what really happened. We weren't there. You know what I mean? If she was taken by somebody, you gotta, at least I do sometimes, put in perspective that, hey, what if she got away? You know what I mean? Throughout that time, you just never know. I don't know. I don't really. I actually only found out about the story when you brought it up, saying it was gonna be a topic. So I tried to look it up and see what that was.
Yeah, she admitted it was a hoax and stuff. So that came out. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh shit! But then
she did, yo.
Well then, yeah. I mean, whatever it took, however much it costs, that it took for them to like go find her to put an investigation, I feel as if she should probably pay that money back.
No, they went through. When they started doing the investigation, the detective they pulled all her phone records, screened all and went through all her stuff, and they was reading it to the media.
Oh, wow,
it's embarrassing. All that shit was premeditated. Though. She planned that shit. So I don't know if she did it for attention or what, because she comes from a good family. You know what I mean?
She definitely did it for attention.
Probably.
All right, what about you, Phil? Real quick, let me go around and get everybody's. Did they believe it? Did you?
So, if you Google her name right now, she's got hella clout.
Uh-oh.
If you Google her name, you're gonna see shit everywhere, and I think that's what she wanted. That's all I'm gonna say.
Is that really clout though, or is that just in the tabloids, in the news?
That is 100% clout, bro. Like if you
clout is different.
The first
clout
name
is,
that pops up.
It's not, but that's not what clout is. Clout is your ability to like use that, that popularity to like make something happen.
Right.
If you Google her name,
but what can she make? What can she make happen? Clout is usually generally a positive thing. Like you can do something with clout. Like
what? But there's not negative clout.
Yeah.
No, there's definitely negative clout.
So what's the word for that? Infamous, right?
Infamous.
Yeah, that would be opposite. I mean, because if you're a celebrity, that means you're being celebrated for doing something good, right?
Yeah, but clout has like a level of influence. Like she can't influence anything. Like there can be clout, right? And you can use it for negative things, but clout is clout. Like clout is different from fame, but clout can get you able to do things.
Right. Guess what? Like I said, if you Google her name right now, anybody Googles her name, that's just gonna pop up and it's gonna be at the top of the list because of what the hell she did. That is clout. Period.
Okay.
Nah,
period.
I'm not gonna celebrate.
What's the word?
I'm gonna lie, I just looked her up and she was the first thing that popped out. I didn't spell it out.
Yeah.
But I think Manning saw this up because I think clout.
I'm gonna
explain.
explain. Yeah, I just googled what clout actually means. It means influence or power, especially in politics or business. She ain't got no fucking influence. Like that's not influence. Just her being well known. Like that's not influence. Like she can't get nobody a job. She can't wield this power. She don't have any power. If anything, she lost clout because before she had a job, she had her certifications to be a nurse. She ain't got none of that, so she has less power than what she had before. So she.
But I think I know where Phil was going. Like she definitely was going for the attention, and she definitely got that. But this kind of piggybacks onto the second question. Why did you think she did this? And I'll start with you, CLS.
Probably the attention. There's a lot of people on, it's like you said, a lot of people on Instagram and YouTube and all that clout chasing. Because, I mean, they want fame. They want recognition. They want money. Not that she need the money. Because like I said, she didn't come from a poor background. So Maybe she's doing it just for the fame. She just wants people to know who she is. Maybe this can help her jumpstart a career. Doing something in entertainment.
What about you, Phil? Why you think she
I'm gonna stick to what I said for clout. Period.
Period.
Y'all can throw all the definitions y'all want. I know what this shit is. Y'all got it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Taj. Why you think she did this? You think it was to chase that some fame or get some attention?
I mean, I don't know if she's gonna get fame. I don't know how she's gonna get fame off of that, but it's just attention. I mean, we've all seen people get famous off of doing dumb shit.
Mm-hmm.
But what's that one white girl name from Dr. Phil? I think they called her the Catch Me Outside girl.
Catch Me Outside girl.
Bad
Yeah,
baby.
She
Yeah.
getting millions of that. So yeah,
That's clout. That's clout.
Yeah.
That's
Man,
a
that's
perfect
clout.
example of what clout is. Like,
Nah,
she
but
got
here-
influence.
Did it start off as
on a
clout?
TV show though?
Did it start off as
do
clout?
bad.
It did not. People was playing the shit out of her, and now look at her.
But I mean,
That's
they
a good
could play,
point. That's a
they
good.
could play the
Just
shit out of
saying.
her. But at the end of the day, she used that clout that she gained through that to have influence. She's a multimillionaire, and she
started
used that to have power over money, over people, over
So
celebrities,
why can't
over
she
like
do the same
a
thing?
whole career.
Dude, last year
She might.
Why
last year
can't she do the same thing?
Nah, Carlee Russell is canceled. Ain't
Oh,
nobody because everybody came
Everybody
to her
gonna
rescue.
remember her though because it is. So you
Yeah.
never know.
Everybody
yeah,
said the same
she's
shit
gonna
about
be-
her. They was playing
She's going to
her.
be notorious.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Back to CLS's point. She is
Infamous. That's
absolutely
what I'm
going to be
saying,
infamous, notorious,
Yeah.
like well known. Her name is going to pop up. You know,
Yeah.
you put in Carlee, she's going to be the first one.
Cause now she's linked to doing a bad deed. That's not
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? Infamous.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But also what she did though, and this is what I'm afraid of now, it's gonna be like the person who cried Carlee. Like, you know what I mean?
The person,
Yo, they're calling her the new Jessie Smollett, yo.
hey, you heard it here first from Sagacious Taj.
Yeah.
Cry Carlee. You need to trademark that.
Mhm.
They said she
We got ownership over that. Taj owns that now.
They said she the new Jessie.
Sagacious. You heard it here first.
She knew Jessie Smollett. That's what they're calling her.
I've been thinking hard about that, man. I'm like, I would hate for that to
Cry
happen.
Carlee or
So we weren't supporting her because a lot of people in the black community, they were supporting her just like the same way we were supporting Jessie Smollett from Empire. Like same thing. We supported them on Twitter and all that stuff. And then we found out it was all made up by those two swole ass Nigerians. Come on.
now he's canceled. When's the last time you seen Jessie Smollett doing anything?
Yeah, he done.
Oh,
Hey,
why
my bad.
not?
Whole.
He's home now, but I think he still has to go back to court.
He does.
But does anybody have any more details on this? Because I know, Manic, you was telling me like she was like looking up stuff like when the facts started coming out. Like I did see like she was looking up Taken movies and stuff. She was trying to be Liam Neeson out here.
She was reading the plots. Yeah.
Yep.
She had Google. How long can you survive in the woods with certain food? What are the essentials for survival?
So stupid, yo. It was so dumb, yo. It was like
Nah, man, because when I started looking at that, you know what she was doing? She was creating like a movie plot, man. I'm telling you, I think if she would have got away with this, just think about it. And I think this is where Phil was going, where she definitely would have had, man, she would have had a Lifetime movie.
Oh yeah,
She would have had like 2 books out.
She probably still was gonna get a Lifetime movie. She gonna get a Lifetime movie.
Nah, she done after this. It's a wrap.
Like she didn't think it out well enough, for one. Because I mean, there's just way too many holes in her story. Like, where's the baby gonna go? People are gonna want to know what happened to the baby.
Yeah.
I just saw the baby and I got out the car and there's a funny sketch. Kevin Hart, he tells a story about the baby. Like, it's a baby. He's
Oh no, you talking about Dave Chappelle?
No, it's Kevin Hart. It's Kevin Hart's.
He told one too.
Yeah. He told one about a baby, and it was exactly. It sounded like Carlee Reed's or Carlee Russell's story.
Yeah,
but
if she would have left the baby out, and then just came up with a scenario, she would have got away, man. But when she called the cops, talking about a baby was on the side of the road, that was too much. But yeah, she squandered the plan, man. She could have had a Lifetime movie. I'm telling you, books. I could see her on what's that? The View. They would have been interviewing her. Just tell us your story. How did you get away?
Yeah.
She had that all planned out. Like, damn, I started looking at them details. Like, Taken.
Oh yeah, that's what it was called. Dave Chappelle's in 2004 for What It's Worth. That's the one he did in San Francisco, and I think he told the baby joke. Or no, it was Killing Him Softly. I'm sorry, that was 2000.
That's an excellent
2000.
Yeah, I remember that one. I didn't hear the
baby on the corner. That's what he was talking about.
Yeah,
the limo driver picked him up, in the old limousine with the old school doing, not the power windows. It was like the wind down, you had to roll it down yourself. He looked out the window, the baby on the corner.
Yeah, I remember that. That was hilarious. That was probably one of the funniest.
That was funny.
So, do you guys think she should receive a long jail sentence or pay heavy fines for this hoax?
They're giving her heavy fines.
Yeah, I think they're from what I'm looking at right now, they're trying to make her pay back what much spent as far as doing the investigation. They're trying to make her pay that money back.
Yeah.
Y'all got
fines.
33 seconds. Kevin Hart predicts the Carlee Russell. He did this. Well, let's see if it works.
Oh, don't play it, man. We don't know if we got the sound thing.
Yeah, you can't play it, yo. Copyright.
Hey, don't play it, man. Don't play it.
Oh, don't play it.
You can't play it. Copyright infringement. You can't play it.
Oh, okay. Oh, my bad.
Yeah,
I'll send it to y'all.
But
everybody get us canceled.
So going around, do you guys think? Do you think that she should get some years or fines, or heavy fines?
Fines.
They're giving her fines. I think they're trying to give her jail time, but she probably won't get jail time though.
You already know why they're trying to give her jail time.
Dude, they give Jesse Smollett. Dude, they giving him jail time.
He's joking.
I think she should get a nickel. I'm like 5 years.
Maybe like 6 months or something. You know what I mean? They gotta make an example out of her. Of going
Can't be playing around, man.
Come on, man.
Are you wasting man hours? We get him out there looking for somebody else who actually is abducted.
Hey,
I want you behind bars. We need to set an example for this.
Yeah.
Wasting resources.
Nah, if you give her 5 years, you gotta lock up every single Karen, every person who files a false report. Like,
talk to him, man.
Yeah.
Hit her with some fines, make her pay a consequence, something that like is heavy on her, but not too. I'm not trying to destroy her life. I mean, she didn't hurt anybody. At the end of the day, she just wasted everybody's time.
Yeah.
Disrespectful, but I don't know too many women who haven't wasted.
That's time and money for them.
Somebody's time.
What about you, Phil? You think she should get some years?
Nah, I think this is a very minimal thing. I've seen a lot worse situations that have gotten fines than what she did.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna stick with the fine.
Yeah,
y'all kind of soft, man.
I
think some years should be on the table because there's a lot of. I was looking at one report one time where I think there's a lot of females that get kidnapped and they don't have the resources for it. So something like this could kind of hurt females in the long run and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I do think they need to set an example for this. So maybe the fines will do it, but
the fines.
Yeah, I got no sympathy for that type of stuff, man, because it does hurt other people that truly need that type of help and stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
honestly, you talking about like future references now, right?
Yeah, because there's a lot of people. I was looking at how many people go kidnapped and are never found and stuff. So stuff like this. I think you was talking about the person that cried wolf and stuff. It does hurt other people because they start losing that sympathy for just stuff. They might be like, oh, that's probably just a hoax or something.
Yeah, they're gonna think twice about it. I see what you're saying.
So years are back on the table now. Y'all
still the fines though.
Now, listen, her employer, there's no way she still has her job. So she already lost her, ability to make money. She's gonna have such a negative stigma. And this is one of those stories that, I don't even think people will want to interview her. I mean, there might be some low level TV. I mean, if there's no real other news that might want to hear what she has to say, but for the most part, it's just you can see it as plain as day. This is just a typical chick who just wanted attention, and she just went about it in the most basic, just a really bad way. I don't think that she's special needs or has a mental condition. I just think she's just not bright and thought that, hey, I could fool people and pretend I got kidnapped and then I escaped and maybe I can get a book out of it or a deal, or maybe she was thinking, I won't have to work this being a nurse anymore. But so I just think it's a girl who just wanted attention, wanted people, and that's not too far to that's not too far fetched to think about. But yeah, give her some fines, make her have to work a regular job, have to pay that off for a few years. She'll spend at least 5 years paying off them fines. So it's he wanted to spend some time. There's that time. She's gonna be grinding.
I want 5 years in Guantánamo Bay. I think that would be 3 years. I'll compromise with you guys. 2.5 at Guantánamo Bay. How about that? That's still too harsh.
Oh, no, man. It's kind of
just a little bit soft.
ruin her career. Like she was still currently in nursing school, or she already finished
Yeah,
school?
she was a nursing student. That's what I seen from the report. But I do got one last question, and it's kind of general. So, do you think we are becoming addicted to attention to the point where people will start doing more stuff like this?
Hell yeah!
Mhm.
Didn't you hear?
Yeah.
There was a
Oh,
story
yeah.
about a lady
Yeah.
lying about winning the lottery or something like that.
Yeah.
Not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
So, y'all think they're this is going to continue on, right?
Hell yeah!
Yeah, it is. And
This is why the
Don't agree.
2.5 years.
Don't agree with that. That's exactly where he was going with this. I saw it in his face. He got too excited.
Yeah,
Man, it was stop blowing up my strategies. But all right, we'll go ahead and put this one to an end. Anybody have anything else they wanted to add to this topic? If not, we'll go ahead and jump into the last topic.
I'll just say, lastly,
Thank you.
the more attention that you give to the Carlee Russell hoax story, the more it just feeds into somebody else wanting to replicate that. So we've seen time and time again, people make the news for something negative, and then something overall positive happens for them to where they no longer have to work and they're in a pretty good situation. The first thing that pops in my head was George Zimmerman. Like, this dude was a low budget dude, ended up killing an innocent kid, and my man, he's living scot-free. He's doing tours. He signs, disrespectful. He signed people Skittles and stuff like that, and he's made a life, a living.
He's living in hiding, right? He's living in hiding right now, right? No one knows who he is.
Yeah, he's living in hiding, but he's well fed. He don't have to worry about working. He doesn't have to worry about like paying, bills. Yes, his freedom is, limited, but
It is.
I mean, for
If
a guy
somebody see
who
him, it's probably on site. If somebody see him in public, you know that, right? It's on site.
Nah, it's not though. It's not though. He was walking around for so long. He was walking around.
Man, he
for
probably
so
live
long.
in Maine and shit.
Yeah,
There's probably like a half a black person up there. My man,
Was it-
good. Like, he ain't going nowhere in no like
protection?
minority population.
Like witness protection, right? When they change your identity and give you a new identity and put you in fucking Kansas somewhere in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Iowa, Kansas, or something. Yeah, nobody knows where he is, bro. If they see him,
Yeah.
if a black person see him, it's pretty much on site.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I think he's so tucked away. He's like he's smart
no one
enough
knows where
because
he is. Even his wife left him.
And they had a GoFundMe for him and everything like that. So he got bread.
Dude, his wife left him, bro. He's hiding.
When he leaves this earth, we know where he's going. That's all. We're gonna get justice either way. So.
Oh yeah, him. Yeah.
Well, y'all remember what was the one like female that murdered? Because I just saw like they had like a whole like Netflix series or something like that. Casey Anthony.
Casey. Oh yeah, she murdered her.
Yeah,
daughter.
man, she's eating off of that whole situation. So yeah, it does make some sense what you guys are saying. It's like, man, these tragedies are becoming marketable, man. So I do see people kind of trying to like do this stuff more in the future, which is sad. It's just like, damn, are we to that point, man, where you could get like book deals and stuff just for having a tragedy?
Yeah. Causing a tragedy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's it.
Nah, I appreciate that. Nah, that was a good situation because I didn't even think about it like that. But yeah. All right, we'll go ahead and go into the Reddit response. And Manic, I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna need you to read that again.
I got you.
Give me 1 second. This one's kind of messed up. I had to pull this one. I'm like, can you see it pretty good, or do I need to?
That's good. That's good right there. Okay. How do I, 19-year-old female, tell my mom, who's 44, female, about a mistake I made? And it says, I did something that will ruin my relationship with my mom, but she deserves to know. The other night, I was at a party drunk and I could barely walk or talk. I was a mess, but I texted her and asked if she could pick me up. She was asleep, so I texted her boyfriend instead. Oh, this is terrible. I think I know where this is going. My mom and her boyfriend are 40-something, and they have been together for a year. I just needed a ride home, and he was awake, and he agreed. He came and picked me up, and he started rubbing my thigh, and I did not tell him to stop. One thing led to another, and he went down on me. I did not tell him to stop. I woke up sober, and it is something I never would have done sober. And it is my fault. We did not have sex, but I feel disgusting and I do not really remember much, but I know it happened and I feel sick. I cannot even look my mom in the eyes, and I just want to tell her what happened, but I'm afraid. She does not deserve to be with a cheater, and she does not deserve to have a liar daughter, and that does stuff with her boyfriend. I feel ashamed and I'm sorry. She deserves to know the truth. She is my best friend, but she will not be after I tell her the truth. I am so sad and hate myself. Her boyfriend is acting like we should continue this, and he keeps trying to have sex with me and keep it on the down low. I need to tell her because I cannot keep this in. If I tell her everything I know, she is going to hate me, but I made a mistake and I need to own up to it. How do I approach having this conversation with her?
All right.
This is crazy. This is not where I was expecting it to go.
What the hell was you expecting?
Not that shit. This is heavy, man. Like this is.
Yeah.
I was expecting her to be like, "Oh yeah," and then I always liked him, and we messed around, and we continue to mess around. I think I want to be with. I was expecting that, but this is different.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. All right, Phil. What's your take? How should she approach this conversation with her mother, or should she even do the conversation? Is this something?
I have a strong belief, and I don't give a fuck how drunk you are. You know what you're doing. Like, like in the back of your mind, like this shit is wrong or it's right. A lot of people use alcohol as like I'm gonna loosen up type, but that's all it is. I've never been in a situation, even when I've been belligerently drunk, to where I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna make this really fucked up decision, and the next day be like, oh, I was drunk. Nah, that's no excuse. She knew what she was doing. I think she had like some type of feeling for this dude, to where she was like, I'm just gonna let this shit happen. She could have said no, but she did. So I don't personally think she has any room to even explain to her mom that what she did was wrong. What she should say is, hey, I wanted this, he acted on it, and that nigga should be like dealt with and be like, all right, it's broken up, it's a wrap. And then that's crazy. I did not expect to hear that. I really didn't.
You think she should tell her mom that she wanted it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go next.
Be real. I really think she should be like, I don't think she should lie and be like, oh, I didn't want that, because now you're going to a rape, you're going to jail time, you're going to everything else. She gonna put this dude in jail for some shit that she actually wanted.
Good point.
So like, nah, I think she should be real and be like, I actually was okay with this because I did want him, and that's gonna save dude. Period.
Okay.
Save dude.
For real.
CLS, what's your take? What do you think should happen in this case?
Did you pull her mom to the side? Well, I guess when her boyfriend's not, I guess she probably doesn't want to feel pressured if he's around. So maybe wait for him to go to work or leave the house for whatever reason and talk to her mom one-on-one and pretty much just tell her the truth. The same way she put all this information on his Reddit post. Just tell her mom what happened, explain it to her. She probably did feel some type of way about that guy. Maybe she was attracted to him. Didn't want to be with him, obviously, because he's with her mom. I mean, she's, mother's with the guy, but she got to tell her the truth. Because what's going to happen is if she keep her mouth shut and just not say anything, eventually he's probably going to get caught cheating with some other chick. And then it's probably going to come out anyway. And say, oh, by the way, saying your daughter was hitting on me and doing this and saying this and all that stuff. So better she give her version to her mom before he tells his side of the story and just make himself look, make it seem like she came on to him instead of the other way around.
Yeah. Okay. What about you, Taj?
Yeah, I'm with y'all on that. That's just a terrible situation. I mean, you just gotta keep it honest. Just rip that shit off like a Band-Aid, get it over with. Honesty is key, and you get far with honesty. It's like CLS said, you want to get to her before he does, because his version may not be what his version may not be the truth.
You're gonna clean that shit up.
Yeah, just to make sure he looks good.
Yeah.
So, damn. Yeah, just tell the truth, man. Don't use alcohol as an excuse, because obviously you wasn't pissy or sloppy drunk. You knew what was happening. You decided not to push him off or say no. You followed through, and everything went down the way it did. So yeah, just keep it real, keep it honest, and tell your mom.
All right, Manic. How about you? I see the sinister grin. I know you're about to. You're gonna throw us a curveball.
Hey, lock that dude up and throw away the key. Check this out. She's 19 years old. First off, she shouldn't have been drinking. Let's address that.
Yeah.
19. I'm not saying a 19-year-old can't make their own decisions and that they're not an adult, because they absolutely are. They have the free will.
Yeah.
But someone 19 versus somebody 44, there's a major difference in your mindset. So, that dude knew way better than to be doing that mess. Like, if it was just a random girl, then no problems, and I mean, still, I'm not gonna say no problems. If that was a random girl, there'd still be an issue. Like, if a girl is sloppy drunk, you just don't do that. Like, as a man, it wouldn't sit well with me, to take advantage of somebody that way. So, and then you want to add in the factor that this is a girl that trusts you, like, on like the highest level, because she sees you as a father figure. And you take advantage of that, like, you have to be a very sick individual. So yeah, we don't need those type of people in the world. Lock his ass up. She needs to go to her mom and say, hey, you know what? Me and your boyfriend messed around, and explain the story. I came home drunk and we did some things, and we didn't have sex, because she remembers that much. So that tells me that, she wasn't blacked out drunk. So she needs to own up and take accountability for it. Like, it was a mistake. And I think her mom will be upset, but it's only been her boyfriend for over a year. So it's not like, he's been in their life for, and then it's like over a year. Is she like 19 and some change, or is she like just turned 19? Like, was he around when she was like a minor? And it's giving me all type of,
yes, I was curious how long they
it's giving me all type of creep vibes. So like, lock this motherfucker up. Like, throw away the key.
Nah, he definitely overstepped on boundaries, like you said, because it's just, if you're dating somebody and you're messing with like their kinfolk, to me, that's like always like the biggest sign of betrayal. So for him to like kind of do that off the rip, I mean, that's just tacky anyways. It's like, man, that's gonna blow up somehow. That's just dumb. But when I was looking at this, I was like, I don't know if I would like tell the truth. Like, I would probably have to like move away for 5 years. Like, I'll take like a foreign service job or something, then come back after like I found Jesus or something, and like then I'll tell the truth. But damn, I don't know if I can have that talk, man. Like, let's reverse it. You say, like, from a guy's perspective, this was us and this situation happened to our father. I mean, could you go like, hey, Dad, this happened? You know what I'm saying? Because that would be the equivalent. Let me go around real quick. Could you guys would still tell the truth and like have that conversation with him?
Yeah, I would. Sound like fucking Bill Clinton saying that shit. Well, we didn't have sex, but we did this. It was a Monica Lewinsky, bro. It's still sex. It's still sex, bro.
Okay. What about you, man? You still had that conversation?
Nah.
Like,
hey, I'm all about discretion though, so it never happened. I'm taking that shit to the grave with me.
Taj, you have that conversation?
What you mean?
What, like, if say like you was in a shoot, this your father, this was you and your father in this situation.
Like, same.
You were the 19-year-old dude. You got drunk, and then your stepmother or the girl that your dad is dating, comes, picks you up, and starts jerking you off, and then tops you off, and and you just like, you finish in her mouth, and then
you ain't got that damn David.
I would.
You gonna tell your dad like, hey, that night when she came home late and she gave you a kiss on
like,
the
hey,
cheek?
Dad, sit down, champ.
I keep it honest with my father, man. Like, I want to say I want to say a few months ago, actually, him and I laugh about it now, but he was telling me about the woman that he was seeing, and like, he was raving about her and everything, talking so highly about her. And I was laughing in the back of my head. He was like, what's up? You got this look on your face. I said, well, Pop, I got something to tell you. He was up here just seeing this lady. I was like, that's it's my mother's friend. She's been around, I already messed with her already. And so he was like, what? So I was like, yeah. Like, you're not telling me anything I don't know. I know. So I'm just open. I'm open like that, regardless of the consequences, regardless of what would happen after that. I keep it real. You know what I mean? Look, this happened.
So your pops was talking to her, or he was?
My pop, yeah. Like, he ain't talking to her no more. But
he was at the.
He was, like, we even went as far as to he wanted me and my brother to meet her, and we went to Applebee's together. And he was like, hey, you know, it's so and so. And I'm looking at my brother looking at me because, of course, we knew the deal. And so my brother took a sip of his drink and just turned away, trying not to laugh. I'm just sitting there looking at him. I'm hearing how they met and everything. Like, cool. You know, a few days after that, you know, we talking about, he's like, oh, man, she's this, she's that. You know, I'm like, y'all mess around? He's like, you know, I'm kissing tell. I said, you can kiss and tell with me, Pop. So he was, you know, he told me, all right, cool. So
Set
then,
him up. No.
yeah, so I mean,
No.
you know, went on and I kept it real with him. I said, Pop, I got something to tell you, man. Because it was eating me up inside because I could tell he really liked this girl. Well, your woman messed with your son. You know what I mean? So he was like, you got with her? He was like, how old is she? I'm like, come on, Pop. So I told him, I just kept it real with him.
Did
know what I mean?
you sit him down and say, take a seat? I gotta tell you something.
Yeah.
No.
Sit down, son.
I just went on and said, Pop, I tell you something.
I'm the dad now.
I told him how it was. I told him how it was. You know what I mean?
So, okay, was he proud, like as a father?
He dapped me up. You know,
He was a pride. My man was.
He dapped me up, and he was just like, I ain't gonna mess with it no more. I was like, it makes me no difference. Like, I'm not no dog, and I'm like that. I'm like, but you know, it is what it is. He was like, you do know that so and so, mom. I was like, I don't care. It happened. You know, it's just the way it is. I'm sorry, but it did happen. Like, you raving about a woman I've already had already. So I'm just like,
dang.
Like, I can't sit up here having you talk highly about this woman. I know you really like her and all, but it feels weird that you're telling her about me. You know, you're telling her to like, you're telling, let me rephrase that. I said it wrong. You're telling what you're going through with her to me. And it's like, you're not telling me nothing new. I already know. So,
Could you imagine your pops being like, I'm so proud of my son Taj, and her being
he probably
like,
was. He probably was.
You should be.
We talked
you should be proud of him.
Real, like, we
you should be very proud of him.
I don't be lying about that, man. I told him, like, I like older women, and he would joke, like, we were just like, you know, all right, bro.
But like when she saw y'all like all together, did she kind of like panic? Like, oh shit.
She did.
Like,
She was quiet, and I was looking dead at her ass too.
oh, for real?
I was like this. I was like this the whole time.
He took the glasses off. Oh no.
Oh, okay.
I just because I'm just like, you know.
Did you blow a kiss at her?
Just like
that shit would have been gangster.
You know what I mean? I look just like my parents. So I'm just like, you know, I'm seeing the both of them as we're walking to the table. I'm just like, so I sit down and I just look dead at her the whole entire time. She tried her damnedest not to look right at me. You can't help it. You know what happened.
And I think I would just leave and just call it. I'd be like, hey, I think I need to move on. If they were smart, if I was her, I would have been like, yeah, I just, you know, I'm going in a different direction.
Damn. We live in a small town. You know what I mean? So like, you can't really escape that shit. Everybody swaps spit sometime. You know what I mean?
No.
That's why you got to
with your son, dog.
You got to
With your son though. Wow.
Take people out of town, man. You got to go out of town.
Oh man, look.
Date women out of town.
It was you was in it. You in it. Everybody thought I was bluffing. I like older women. I shot my shot. I scored a few times, and there it was.
Shout out to Taj. I told you, Taj, you got game, man. I don't know why you be trying to like front.
Yeah.
I mean, cause I ain't trying to look like no dog and nothing like that. You know.
Nah, it ain't about being no dog. You got that old school swag. But all right, let me go ahead and ask Phil about this scenario. Phil, would you tell your father, say like reverse the roles, replaced you as the younger female? That's you now, and then you had to tell your dad what happened.
I would have recorded that shit and be like, Dad, this bitch ain't loyal. Fact. Like, like, I'm gonna show you right now what she did. You need to lead her ass tomorrow and just be done with it. Like, that's period. I'm exposing the shit out of her. Yep.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I would have never let it happen.
Yeah, no, I know we all stand up dudes. Like, this wouldn't even happen. I'm just saying, like, based on this scenario, like,
oh, no, I'm just saying. If we're the 19-year-old girl, I'm just saying, if I'm in the car and then there's my dad's girlfriend sitting next to me driving, and she touched my leg, start, you know, rubbing my leg and all that, I wouldn't even just push her hand away. I wouldn't even let it happen.
I wouldn't even text her. You know, I would have been getting an Uber or something. So yeah. Yeah, my parents couldn't come get me, then I'll find another means. But yeah, that was just a weird one. I had to grab that one. I'm like, damn.
I didn't even think about that. That is true. Like, she did text him when, you know, whenever you drunk or at a party, you know, you figured out how to get there. So you can figure out a way to get back. Like, somebody is driving back. So
how do we
she might have texted him, you know, because she was feeling saucy and like, come get me. Like, I'm gonna like, you know, I don't know.
And how do we know he wasn't always being like flirtatious with her throughout the relationship with her mom anyway. Like he'd been flirting with her around the house.
Yeah, and they might have had a whole flirtatious type relationship.
That's what I was thinking when I kind of read the scenario, because for him to be like that kind of bold, like there was something that happened. I mean, definitely in the wrong and something like that.
Yeah.
So I don't condone his behavior, but it was just awkward. That's why I was like, man, I got to speak on this one.
She was probably at home walking around this dude, you know what I'm saying? He's probably sitting on the couch watching sports or something. She prancing around the living room with little ass shorts and a tank top on, you know, honest. You know what I mean? Probably, I don't know.
But you know, like in those situations, my thing is just like, you know, like it's gonna blow up somehow, man. And
yeah, this is not a
you know, with
look.
the mom and the daughter, like
Yeah,
just would it be worth that whole drama, you know?
What's worst case scenario? I mean, what she tell her mom, and then now the mom has to decide who she wants to keep in her life. She can cut him out and lose her daughter, or you know what I mean? She probably still think he's a good man and don't want to leave his ass. You know what I mean? That type of shit.
Both of them got to go.
Yeah, so like, yeah.
At the end of the day,
well, not the daughter. I mean, that daughter.
Not the daughter.
That's
her
daughter.
blood. You know, it's blood, but yeah, you know what I mean.
Like in there, she was like, you know, she don't.
Nah, I gotta cut you off, dog. That's just, man, that's a line you just don't cross, man. Like I see Todd's situation, like he's, you know,
it already happened.
It's like he did, it already happened and stuff. But I'm talking about somebody just doing that, man. That you done with me, man.
Because
come back in 10 years. Give me like a decade. I need a cooling off period.
Yeah, and she did say her mom was and the dude was in their 40s. So it's hard to find somebody at that age. So she probably
y'all think the mother would take
man, if you don't shut the hell up, he talking about some 40.
It is, bro. It is.
He throwing shots, CLS. He throwing shots at us.
I'm saying as a woman though, like you in your 40s, you got a grown daughter, and like you finally find somebody who's like decent. And who's like trying to stick around, not just trying to, you know, stick you.
Yeah. He's just trying to get some
that's
side
kind of
action,
tough.
though. So he's the wrong dude for her. Because
so that's a good question. Let me go around real quick. Y'all will forget your child. Let me go to Phil first. If that happened, you'll forget your child in this scenario if you're the parent.
Would I forget my child?
Yeah.
Like, would I forgive her? Like, and be like, okay, this is like.
Yeah. You're just gonna forgive it and. Y'all cool.
Absolutely.
You know that
I'll be like, I'm gonna have to kill that nigga, and that's just where I'm at. Like, it will be a situation where it's like that's my baby, that's my heart. Like she's impressionable, like she's gullible, she's young, so absolutely, yeah, I would.
All right, CLS. What about you? You'll forgive your kids?
Yeah, you got to forgive your kids. Just cut the person out of your life. The boyfriend, you have to cut him out of her life.
Damn, y'all some straight people. Taj, you too. You're gonna forgive.
You already know my answer, man. You already know.
All right, Manic.
Yeah, no. I agree on this one. Like, I'm forgiving the kid because I'm just like, you know, this is a kid. You know, I made bad decisions when I was 18, not to this magnitude, or 19. But you know, some of my decisions were questionable. So, but like at you know, and you're 44 and this person sees you as like a father figure, like that's taking advantage, like, you know, because I mean I could say at 34 I wouldn't do no shit like that, you know.
Son, if you're watching this, we are done. Holla at me in like 15 years, maybe I'll change a little bit. Maybe we could talk it out after I swing on you a couple of times, but yeah, we're done.
Just give him that old Terrence Crawford.
Yeah, I gotta give him a couple left hooks. You know, then we can discuss it after that. We'll go hit the bar, get a couple of drinks. I might swing on him again, but there's gonna be a series of ass whoopings. Let's put it there.
You gonna buy him a Heineken?
Yeah, I'll buy him a beer afterwards. Like, you know, what you did is messed up. I really loved her. Like Common. I used to love her. But all right, we'll go ahead now. This was a good topics today, man. Just throwing something out the left part field, you know, so we could touch on, you know, like education reform. So, you know, we definitely gonna hit all kind of topics. We got a bunch of, you know, topics listed out and stuff like that. But just go around real quick, tell people where they can find you at. So, Manic, we'll start with you.
You can find me on IG, the Manic Genius.
All right, Phil.
You got my TikTok at Phil_Pack.
All right, Taj. Sagacious Taj.
You can find me on IG at excuse me, Sagacious Taj.
And tell them what sagacious means, man. I like the meaning of that. Break it down to them.
I'm gonna just keep it short and sweet, y'all. It means wise. All right, it
There
means
you go.
wise.
There you-
That's all. Just wise Taj. I'm very old for my age. You know, I'm only 28, but I got an old soul.
All right. All right. This is CLS.
Nah, just YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. This is CLS.
Okay. And you know, if you guys tune into the channel, we dropped the movie review, so we're gonna be doing those like later on in the week and stuff like that. So we stay tuned for those. We also dropped the after work conversations with me, Manic, and myself. So you know, we're definitely adding a bunch of different things, and you know, the squad got a bunch of good ideas. So just stay in tune. Also check out CLS's videos. He's been posting a bunch of them. You know, that gets me through my work week when I'm seeing him out about in the city and stuff, running into different situations. So definitely tune into his stuff. I got everybody's YouTube channels like tagged to the homepage of the Manic Sophistication channel, so you could easily link into that. And then at the bottom of the videos, I am putting everybody's like IG information, so you can also reach them there too. So, all right, we'll close this out. Thanks for tuning in, and see y'all later.